Hi everyone, in this video we're gonna go ahead and officially start building our Instagram clone. So in this video we're gonna implement the sign up and login functionalities of our application. So first let me show you what we are going to build. So here you can see the sign up activity. So here you can see that on this action bar we have the name of this activity. So I put sign up. Go ahead and find out how we can put a text inside the action bar. And then we have this image of Instagram. So you can download this image from the resources section of the current lecture. And then we have an edit text that accepts the user email. We have another edit text that accepts the username. Another one that is for password. Then we have two buttons, sign up and login. So when the user clicks on the sign up button, then the user should be signed up. And when the user clicks on this login, the user should go to another activity and then email and the password and then the login button. We have this sign up button. So when the user clicks on it, then we can see the sign up activity. So this is your challenge. Go ahead and implement these two functionalities and also design the app and also enter the code that is going to sign up and log in the user. So give this challenge a shot and good luck. So here let's go ahead and delete some of the XML files and classes that we created in the previous tutorials. So except these sign up login activity, here you can see this one, and we have this one, activity sign up. So we don't need these activity underline welcome.xml files. So I'm gonna press on delete key on my keyboard and then click on OK. Make sure that these two checkboxes are checked and then click on delete anyway. And also delete this sign up login activity.xml file, delete anyway. Then we need this activity underline sign up.xml file. We are going to use it. And also let's go ahead and open the Java folder, open the first package. So we need this app class and the sign up class. But go ahead and delete the sign up login activity and delete anyway, and also delete the welcome activity. So if you want to refer to the codes that we wrote in the previous tutorials, you can go to GitHub, and I committed all of the changes that I made to this project. So you can see those codes there. And also, so we need to go to the manifest file and let's see whether the activities are deleted here or not. Yes, all of those activities that were declared here, they are not here. So if you can see an activity here that is declared, but that activity does not exist in your project, go ahead and delete that tag. But here you can see that I only have the sign up activity declared here, and this is the launcher activity. So now our project is ready to be built, and we can go ahead and implement the sign up and login functionalities. So now go ahead and open the activity underline sign up.xml file and design such a layout. So you already know how to design this layout by using the constraint layout as the root layout. So here we have an image view that is going to contain our Instagram image. And then we have an edit text for entering the email. So here you can see that the ID that I specified for this edit text is edt enter email. And here the hint is please enter an email. Then we have the username, edt username. And then we have the edt password, the sign up button, btn sign up, and the login button, btn login. So here you can also change the background color of your layout or your button here. And you can also change the color of the hint. So you can search for hint color if you like. Let me just type in here color. So you need to go to the view all attributes and then search for color. So here you should see this text color hint. You can also change the color of the text to white. So you already know how to do that. Go ahead and design this layout. And then we're going to go ahead and design the login layout. So now let's create another activity for login. So I'm going to open the Android view and then right click on this package, new activity, and then select empty activity. So its name should be login activity, and the layout name is activity underline login. Make sure that it's going to generate layout file. The backwards compatibility is checked. The language is Java, and the package name is the package that you right clicked on. So this is the package, and just click on finish. So now it asks me to add these files to the Git. So I'm gonna click on OK, and then let's go ahead and open the activity underline login.xml file, and let's go ahead and design the login activity. So here it is, the login activity, the Instagram image, and edit text for email. So EDT. So here make sure that the ID that you specify for this edit text is different from the ID that you specified for the edit text inside the sign up activity. So here we have also an edit text for email. So this is EDT enter email, but this one is EDT login email. These two IDs must be differentiated. And also we have the EDT login password, and we have the BTN login activity as the ID of this button, BTN login activity, and we have BTN sign up. So let me change it to BTN sign up login activity. Okay. So make sure that each ID that you specify for your UI components is unique. This is very important. So now this is our login activity. Go ahead and design this layout. And then we need to go inside the sign up class. So let's go ahead and open the sign up activity class. And here you can see that we have some codes from the previous tutorials. So I'm gonna delete all of them. And here I'm gonna delete all of these codes that we have here inside the onCreate method because we don't need them anymore. So here we only have the sign up class that extends the app compat activity and implements the view.onClick listener interface. So let's first solve this problem with the interface. So I'm gonna click on this error area, Alt, Enter, and then click on implement methods. So now it's gonna implement the onClick method for us. So here it is, the onClick method. And then I think it's fine. Now let's go and see what we have here. First, let's go and run our application in order to see what are the UI components that we need to declare inside our sign up activity class. So we need to declare our edit text, our sign up button, and our login button. So let's go ahead and do that. So here are the edit texts that I declared here. We have the EDT email, EDT username, and EDT password, and all of them are private. And then we have private button, BTN sign up, and BTN login. Next, so here inside this onCreate method, in order to set the title of our action bar, so let me show you the emulator. Here we can see that this is the title Instagram clone. In order to change this title, you need to just call the set title method inside the onCreate method after calling the set content view method. And then you just need to pass the title. So for example, this one is sign up. And then here I am initializing my UI components, EDT email, EDT password, username, BTN sign up, and BTN login. Next, I am calling the set onClick listener method on both of my buttons, BTN sign up and BTN login. So here inside this onClick method, I just need to go ahead and create a switch statement and say that v or view, let's change this name to view because it's more meaningful. So switch view dot get ID, and then we can differentiate between these two buttons. So for example, I can say case r.id.btn sign up colon break, and also we have another case r.id.btn log in colon break. So this is our buttons declared inside our onClick method. So whenever the user taps on the BTN sign up, then this case is going to be executed. And when the user taps on the BTN login, this case is going to be executed. So now let's go ahead and sign up the user. So for this case, r.id.btn sign up, I'm gonna just paste these codes. So it says that we need to import the com.parse user. So I'm gonna click on OK. And if you scroll to the top, you should see that the parse user is imported to this class. So I pasted these lines of code here, app user, parse user, and then here I am setting the email of the user by getting the email from the edt email.getText.toString. Next, we are setting the username of the user, edt username, and the password, edt password. So here, make sure that inside the activity underline signup.xml file, that the input type of this edt password is text password. So here you can see that the text password is checked. So let's go back to signup class. Now it's time to sign up the user in Parse. So I have pasted these lines of code here. So first, I am referring to the app user.signup in background, and then we have the signup callback. So here it is the done method. We have a parameter of type parse exception. If the exception is equal to null, so this means that if there is no error, then we are going to show this toast message, this fancy toast message to the user. And we are going to say that the username of the app user is signed up. So I am calling the get username method on this app user, which is of type parse user. And then here, the length is short, the type is success, and the Android icon is true, .show. Else, so if an error occurs and the user is not signed up, we are going to show this fancy toast message to the user. So now let's go ahead and let's test our application. So let's enter an email here. So for example, the email is going to be hello@example.com. And then we need to enter a username. So I'm gonna enter hello and a password. So I'm gonna enter 12345. So let's click on sign up and let's see what happens. So if the user is signed up successfully, we should see a fancy toast message. It says, hello is signed up. Now let's go and open our backend and make sure that this user is actually signed up. So go ahead and open your Parse dashboard of this application and then go ahead and click on user. So here we should see the username hello, this object is added here. This is the date and the password is hidden, and here you can see the email of the user. So it works. Now let's go back to Android Studio. So now let's go ahead and log in the user. So when the user press on this btn login inside the activity underline signup XML file, now we should transition to the login activity. So in order to do that, you already know what to do. So let's go to this signup class, and here for this btn login case, I'm gonna create a new object of type intent. So I'm gonna say intent, assignment operator new intent. So first we need to pass the current activity, which is going to be sign up activity dot this, comma, and the second activity is going to be login activity dot class, semicolon. Next we should just say start activity and pass the intent. Now let's go and run our app. So here if you click on login, now we are transitioned to this login activity. Now let's go inside the login activity class and implement the login functionality. So open the Android view, go to the login activity here. So first, again, we need to declare the objects that we have here. So for example, the edt email, edt password, and then a btn login and btn sign up. So here I just declared my edit text UI components, edt login email and edt login password. And then here I have declared the buttons btn login activity and btn sign up login activity. Next, I am specifying the title of my action bar to be login. And then I am initializing my edt objects, the btn or button objects. And I have also specified the onclick listener for my buttons, btn login activity and btn sign up login activity. So here, this class must implement the view.onClickListener interface, and next we should just go ahead and implement the onClick method. So that's it. And also here, let's create a switch statement. So let's change the name of this parameter to view, and let's say view.getID. And then we can differentiate between the clicking of these buttons. So I can say r.id.btn login activity. So this is a little bit tricky. You can see that it is also showing us the other IDs. So when I refer to the R class, I can access all of the IDs that I have specified for my UI components. So that's why it is very important that you specify a unique ID for a specific UI component. So here I have btn login activity : break. Next. So here I forgot to put the case statement. So case r.id.btn login activity break. And we have another case r.id.btn sign up login activity : break. So that's it. Now our class is ready to implement the login functionality. So here for this case btn login activity, we can just put the codes in order to log in the user. So here let me show you that when we actually click on this sign up and sign up a user to the Parse server, a token session is created. That means that in that case, the user is signed up. But when we go ahead and run our application, it is showing us the sign up activity. We haven't still decided what we want to do when the user signs up to the application. So in order not to allow this token session to create problems for now, let's just go inside the sign up class, and here inside this onCreate method, before the ending curly brace of this method, I'm gonna type in here parse user dot get current user dot log out. So if a parse user is logged in, then we are going to log out this user, because for example, when we sign up a user, because of that token session, it might cause problems. So let's create an if statement here, and let's say if the parse user dot get current user is not equal to null, this means that there is a parse user that is signed up or logged in, then we are going to log this person out so that there is no problem with the token session that is created when the user signs up, because we can add this functionality that when the user is signed up, we can say, for example, let the user to be signed in whenever the app runs. So I'll talk more about this later. For now, just put this if statement here inside the onCreate method in order to log out the user that is already signed up or logged in. Now let's go back to login activity class, and here inside the btn login activity case, so I've pasted these codes here. So in order to log in the user, we should say parse user dot log in background, and first we need to pass the email and then the password. So here we have decided to log in the user by getting the email and the password, and then we have the login callback. So here notice that this login background method needs 3 arguments. The first one is going to be the email, or you can log in the user by using the username. And the second argument is going to be the password. The third argument here is this callback. So this is actually an argument that we passed here. So here notice that this login background method has a starting parenthesis and an ending parenthesis. So here you can see the ending parenthesis at the bottom here before this break statement. And then you need to put a semicolon here. So here I just wanted to show you that make sure that you put the parenthesis in the right place, and also each starting curly brace must have an ending curly brace. For example, if I delete this ending curly brace or this starting curly brace, now we have a problem. So for example, let me delete this ending curly brace, now you can see that it is showing us an error. So this is very important that you be careful about where you put the curly braces and the parentheses. So now that we have this callback here, this done method, if the user that is logged in is not equal to null and the error is equal to null, then we can show a fancy toast message to the user and get the username and then say that this username is logged in successfully. So now let's go ahead and let's run our project. So first, let me show you the emulator and let's switch to the login activity. And here, let's see that here we have the username hello and we have the password. So let me enter the email. So the email is hello@example.com and the password 12345. Let's click on log in. So it says hello is logged in successfully. So that's good. So for now, let's go inside the onCreate method of the login activity class. And let's say that if the parse user dot get current user is not equal to null, so this means that a user is logged in, then we are going to log out the user. For now, I'm gonna say parse user dot get current user dot log out. We will change this code later, but for now, because of that token session that I talked about, for now, let's just log out the user when we enter into this login activity. So that's good. Now let's go into our sign up activity class. And here, when we sign up the user, I want to show a progress dialog. Okay, so when the user enters the email, the username, and the password, I want to show a progress dialog so that the user knows that something is going on. The sign up process is going on and the user should wait. So when the user clicks on the btn sign up, I want to show the progress dialog, and then when the signing up process is finished inside the sign up in background method, I want to dismiss the dialog. So here, before calling the sign up in background method on the app user object, I'm gonna say progress dialog. So here we can see that we need to import this class into our file. So I'm gonna click on it, hold down the Alt, and then press on Enter key on your keyboard, and then click on import class. So let's name it as progress dialog, assignment operator, new progress dialog, and then we need to call progress dialog, progress dialog, and then we need to pass the context. So I just passed this as the context, and then next here you can see that here instead of progress dialog it added progress bar, so we need to add progress dialog. Okay, next we need to specify the message. So I'm gonna say progress dialog dot set message. So I'm gonna say signing up the user, signing up. We can also say signing up and then plus the username of the person who is trying to sign up. So I can say edt username dot get text dot toString, and then here after specifying the message we are going to say progress dialog dot show. So now here let me show you that what happens when we don't dismiss the progress dialog. So let's choose a device and then click on OK. So here let's enter our credentials. So for the email, for example, I'm gonna say a@b.com, and the username I'm gonna say person A, and the password 123. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on sign up. So now you can see that it is showing us this progress dialog and it says signing up person A. But this progress dialog is not dismissed when the person A is signed up. So that's why we need to go to our class, and inside this done method, after this else statement, you can see that I am still inside the curly braces of this done method. I'm gonna say progress dialog dot dismiss. So when the signing up process is finished, then we can dismiss this progress dialog. We don't need this one here anymore. So let me run the app again. So now let's enter the email. Let's say, for example, hi@world.com as the email, and the username, for example, let's say Jack, and the password 123. Let's click on sign up. Now you can see the progress dialog is shown up, and when the sign up process is finished, then we don't see the progress dialog anymore. So in the next tutorial, we're gonna go ahead and debug our application or Instagram clone, because there are some bugs inside the sign up activity and inside the login activity. We are going to solve some of those problems, and then we are going to give the user a perfect user experience. So thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.